The Niger Ambush, honoring Sergeant David T. Johnson. Black military heroes, forgotten valor. In 2017, a young black soldier lost his life in one of the most misunderstood military operations in U.S. history. His name was Sergeant David T. Johnson. You didn't see his face on every news channel. You didn't hear his story in classrooms. But we're here to change that, because this man deserves to be remembered. David Johnson was born in Miami Gardens, Florida in 1992. He didn't come from privilege, but he carried himself with dignity, determination, and a powerful sense of responsibility. He was known in his community as Wheelie King, a name he earned because he could do some of the best bike tricks in the neighborhood. But beyond the nickname was a young man with heart. He married his high school sweetheart, Maisha, and was a father of 2 young children with a third on the way when he died. Sergeant Johnson wasn't just a soldier. He was a vehicle mechanic, someone who kept the wheels of the operation turning, literally. But in the field, every soldier trains for combat, and David stepped into danger with courage. On October 4, 2017, Sergeant Johnson was part of a 12-man American team sent on a joint reconnaissance mission with Nigerian forces near Tongo Tongo, close to the Mali border. Here's what's important to understand. The U.S. has a significant but quiet military presence in Africa, especially in places like Niger, where extremist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda operate. This mission was labeled as low risk. They were told it was just to gather intel, but the intel was flawed. There was no drone coverage, no air support, and limited backup. That meant when the ambush came, they were completely exposed. ISIS militants, about 50 fighters, attacked the unit in a coordinated ambush. The soldiers were in the open, caught between gunfire and RPGs with barely any cover. In the chaos, 3 soldiers were killed quickly. Sergeant Johnson was separated from the rest of the team. He ran, he took cover, he fired, he moved again. Witnesses say he fought for nearly 2 hours alone. When his body was finally recovered 48 hours later, he was found nearly a mile from the ambush site, his weapon empty, surrounded by spent shell casings. He had tried to evade and resist, alone and injured, until the very end. His body was returned to his wife in a sealed casket. The military offered vague details, leaving his family with more questions than answers. Then came the political firestorm. President Trump's call to Maisha Johnson made headlines, but not for the right reasons. What should have been a moment of honor and compassion turned into a public spectacle, leaving Maisha to grieve in the spotlight while lacking clarity about what truly happened. Let's be honest. If Sergeant Johnson had looked different, if the mission had gone differently, would his name have faded so fast? We've seen how the system fails black soldiers, not just on the battlefield, but in how their stories are told, or worse, how they're erased. Sergeant Johnson wasn't a mistake. He wasn't a casualty of poor planning. He was a hero who deserved better from his government and from his country.